What is a life hack that seems fake, but is a true lifesaver? Every male should know this. If you want to get rid of an awkward boner, flex any muscle in your body, maybe an arm. For a minute, the blood will rush to that muscle and away from your dick. Crisis averted. Don't be that awkward dude trying to hide an erection in public. Confidently rock a raging boner while flexing those guns for all the world to see. If you stand up too fast and your head starts to spin, rush blackout, tighten your abs as hard as you can, and it'll help drastically reduce the head rush. You can also do it preemptively to help stop it before it even happens. Splash some water your face. As a mammal, you have a diving instinct. So water on your face triggers a response. You wake up. There's more oxygen to your brain. You feel better. Plus your face is wet. If you get food grease stains on your clothes, cover the stain with dishwashing liquid. The stain will come off when you wash your clothes. Turn your device on and off before contacting tech support. When it is icy or going through somewhere wet, always have both hands free to break any fall. When working with a job you know has safety hazard, always be on the lookout. My co-worker broke her wrist because someone forgot to put the pallet in the correction location. Sometimes people are out to get you, or maybe not even thinking of you or your safety, so always got to have your own back. Use whitening toothpaste and a little water with a paper towel to clean stained dry erase boards. It easily removes ink and doesn't spread it around like rubbing alcohol. Works on boards that have been stained for years. If your ink gets stuck on your finger, Windex will slide it right off. Worked at a jewelry store for 5+ years. Put Windex on anything. Are you an older Greek man by chance? Why you want to leave me? I saw a comment on one of these kinda threads that recommended gently rocking back and forth while pooping. I've never had any problems in the bathroom, but I happened to be sitting on the toilet when I read the comment, so I decided to give it a test drive. I was pleasantly surprised at how quick and effortless the whole experience was, and I haven't gone back to my old stationary technique since. As a bonus, 1 and 2 now require the same amount of time in the bathroom. Okay, I don't know if you'll see this or have the wherewithal to respond, but it's 6:30 am where I am, and I've been up since around 4 with some constipation. Mostly just browsing around Reddit. I'm not even subbed here. I've been browsing so long I hopped over to Popular to change things up. I have work today. I just got promoted and we are right smack dab in the middle of a 2-week crunch. I can't even remember if I've ever been constipated in my entire life. So maybe it's stress. But I've been in a mild panic for the last few hours because I'm in a lot of discomfort and haven't gotten a lot of sleep, and I simply don't have time for this to be a symptom of a more serious issue. I've been getting up, moving around, trying different stretches and positions to loosen things up. But all I've been feeling is tension and a lack of relief. Rocking back and forth on the toilet for just the last 5-10 minutes has already totally relieved the discomfort and tension I've been feeling. I haven't jostled anything out yet, but I hope I've at least got the operation moving again. I'm comfortable enough to where I can probably go get a couple more hours of sleep and try again before I go to work. Thank you. AskLord. Edit. Hey guys. Thanks for the helpful advice. My bowels are free. The show will go on. LOL. 43k people upvoting this thread so BuzzFeed can get some content. Ever have a split butt knuckle? Some of us cold climate people know about it. Dry airtight clothing layers are split in the skin at the tailbone. A split butt knuckle. The cure. Warm water bath with baking soda. Rinse. Pat dry, no rubbing, dry with a hair dryer. Then apply a layer of Carmex. Cured overnight. If you have funky armpits and need to fix them fast, use hand sanitizer. I figured this out years ago when I remembered that the smell comes from bacteria reactions, which antibacterial hand gel kills stone dead. Instant results, and the medical smell lasts only a minute. Don't do this routinely though, as it's delicate skin and may hurt like heck if you've shaved them and have any nicks. Use shaving cream as anti-fog. I used it on the inside of my motorcycle visor. Smear it on. Let it dry. Then rinse off and dry. It also works for bathroom mirrors. You can use it on a small spot, so you can still see when you get out of the shower. Shaving cream also removes the smell of urine. If you ever have to take care of someone who is old and or sick, and who wets the bed, a little shaving cream on a rag, wiped over their buttocks, after they are thoroughly cleaned up helps them really smell clean again. It's a bit of a sad tip, I know. But you never know when you might end up caring for someone who needs help with things like this. Nobody wants to smell a dab of shaving cream to restore a bit of dignity. Priceless. Work in adult senior care and this advice is invaluable. Thank you so much. I can help make my clients' lives all the better with this. You can do the Heimlich maneuver on yourself. Use a chair or countertop. Press yourself against it right under your rib cage and press down hard. Should force air up and dislodge a blockage. True lifesaver if you are ever attacked by a dog. Push your forearm into the bite. This pries the jaws apart and prevents them from clamping down. If a dog is attacking you, the best thing you can do is offer your forearm. Push as far back as possible and then grab the dog by the scruff of its neck with your other hand to hold it. The dog is now functionally muzzled and you have control of its head. The sooner and harder you push into the bite, the less damage the bite will do. This is a good rule for human bites too. Just so you know. Push in, don't pull. This is also what you do when your teething baby chomps down on you when breastfeeding. Mush them into your boob, not yell and drop the baby, though it's hard to remember that in the heat of the moment. That rubbing alcohol removes chewing gum. I'd go through a 20-layer deep marketing funnel to get to that tip because it really does work. Also, wow. Thank you for all of the awards, nice Redditors. I completely forgot I left this comment and came back and my notifications had blown up. Rubbing alcohol works to get paint off clothes also. All my clothes have paint on them. Thank you for this. If you get a splinter that is still partially sticking out of the skin, put a drop of Elmer's glue on it and let it dry. When you peel the dried glue off your finger, the splinter will be stuck on the glue and pop right off with it. Rubbing vegetable oil or any cooking oil on your hands after you cut up jalapos or other hot peppers. It gets rid of the awfulness that would normally be left on your hands from the peppers. I rub my hands with oil and then wash it off with dish soap. I can totally remove my contacts after doing this. It's crazy how well this works. If a man is in an accident, car, ladder fall, etc. and he gets an erection, don't move him. He has a spinal injury. As a paramedic this is true, it's called a priapism and is associated with a mid to low back injury. Side note, unfortunately it might be his last erection. Link. This website has almost all the books. As a broke student, this has helped me immensely. Put your onion in the freezer for 10 minutes before chopping it. It freezes the juices just enough to slow down the process of it turning into a gas, giving you a few minutes to chop the onion without tears. I learned this tip from a kids science show years ago and I haven't had to deal with onion tears since. So many people don't believe me and then are genuinely surprised when it works. Vinegar in a plastic bag with rubber band tied around any faucet will make the faucet like new. I'm talking decade-old rust and stuff gone. And water flows like the first day. Edit also works on showerhead. You can unscrew those and leave them in a bowl full of vinegar. Vinegar is great for calcium and rust buildup, and it's not toxic. It doesn't work as fast on rust as some of the harsh chemicals available, but it gets the job done safely. It also does a great job of mixed 50-50 cleaning glass if used in conjunction with newspaper. As a weird aside, and keeping with the post, molasses is also a good deep penetrating, albeit time consuming, rust remover. It's helped me restore some delicate old hand tools. The cheapest, most effective, and safest insecticide against roaches, especially those huge water bug roaches that we have in the south, is a spray bottle of mostly water with just a little liquid dish soap in it. Shake the bottle, get the water a little foamy, then spray the roaches. They will run, scrabble, and attempt escape, of course, but they will die. The soap film suffocates them faster than any chemicals will. A friend told me about this. I thought she was nuts, but I tried it. It works amazingly well. Plus it's very easy to clean up and safe around food, not that you want to spray soapy water on your food. If you're going to climb a ladder or work on your roof, wear a bike helmet. From the amazing book The Gift of Fear by Gavin D. Becker, a woman alone who needs assistance is actually far better off choosing someone and asking for help, as opposed to waiting for an unsolicited approach. The person you choose is nowhere near as likely to bring you hazard as is the person who chooses you. I've taught this to my children. If you're lost, find someone before someone finds you. I always tell them to find someone with a name badge on. Clean jewelry with dish soap, since other cleaning supplies might scratch it like hand soap or anything that exfoliates or chemically react with the metals. Usually that's harsh. Cleaning supplies and dish soap is intended to clean glass and ceramic without scratching it, and silverware without reacting with the metal, etc. You missed the Dawn thread above. Dawn can regrow hair, charge your phone, and soft boil an egg. If you're in college, don't buy your textbooks until you actually need to use them. I've saved hundreds of dollars by not buying required textbooks that we never used. When putting a paint can lid back on the can, first put down a layer of cling film saran wrap. This will stop the lid sticking to the can once the paint on the lid has dried. Run your wrists under cold water or rub an ice cube on your pulse points to cool down all over quickly when you get overheated. It seems obvious, but I didn't realize it until last summer working in a warehouse with NOAC. Also something I learned in the army on extremely hot days on the range. If you need to cool yourself immediately, dunk your arms about halfway between your elbow and shoulder in ice water. Probably will need a bucket or cooler for about 20-30 seconds. Then lift your arms over your head straight up, and you'll literally feel your body completely cool from top to bottom as it moves down. If you're working outside and it's very hot, just have it ready just in case. It's required by the army once it gets hot enough to have sheets in ice water to cool anyone that becomes a heat casualty. So it makes sense if you're out mowing your yard or doing work when it's hot. If you're having trouble staying awake in class at a meeting, see how long you can keep one of your feet lifted slightly off the ground. When my dad was young, he often had to drive late at night. He said he would drive while holding a 50 bill out the window in order to focus and stay awake. Nail polish remover gets permanent marker off skin, you know, in case someone draws a dick on your face. All your kindling for a fire is wet and all you have is matches and snacks. Any con chip will light into a ball of flames. Sleep on big decisions. You think most clearly in the morning, and often after some time passes you realize you were about to make a big mistake. During pollen season, rinse your hair before bed. Otherwise you're just depositing pollen on your pillowcase every night and then rolling your face in it all night, and then multiply that by how many nights you use the same pillowcase. If you feel suicidal or depressed, don't focus on hope. It is enough to just stay curious. Curiosity has the power to keep you alive far longer than hope ever will. Curiosity leads to engaging work, and this leads to opportunity. Got fridge hard butter and you want to bake cheese, grate it. It will still be work if you're hand mixing, but it's better than trying to chop it. Microwaves exist, but it sucks when the butter splits. Eating candied ginger helps with nausea. Any ginger really, but candied ginger is much better tasting. Edit: I see this really got people talking. Glad to see other remedies are helping, and the community giving each other tips. Thanks for the award, and be excellent to each other. Second edit: chronic nausea is a different animal and I hope those suffering with it get medical help. Ginger isn't a cure for all nausea, and lots of things can cause it, such as vertigo, which is an obnoxious thing to have, and ginger won't help. I have that, and it's no fun. I use ginger for migraine nausea myself, which I also get. Mosquitoes bites, be gone. This hack is the most valuable thing I've learned in my whole life. Heat the back of a spoon with hot water, then apply the back of the spoon to the bite. I usually do it twice for good measure. The spoon needs to be hot enough to keep on the skin without burning yourself. So test the heat before you press it down. Keep it on until the heat dissipates. Bite will stop itching almost immediately. Usually the bite are completely disappeared within an hour. This only works with mosquitoes from my experience. Write a list and cross shit off. When you accomplish the teensiest thing, it builds momentum. Counting really slowly with the goal of reaching 150 is a decent way to fall asleep. If you have any thoughts during it, just let them play out. And if you forget what number you're on, just go from what you last remember. If you make any major movements, just start again. The goal is to force your brain into slowing down and not having any jerky motions or thoughts, and eventually reaching such a level of carelessness that you eventually fall asleep without realizing. Helped me quite a few times, especially with rain sounds. Hope it helps some of you too. 25% of 18 is the same as 18% of 25. Percentages are reversible and one is easier to figure out than the other one. Crayons are flammable and will provide about an hour of light as a candle if you lit the top. If your car is overheating, turn your heat on full blast. When you turn the heat on in a car, it pulls heat from the engine into the cab, thus cooling the engine. I was taught this in driver's ed 23 years ago, when in high school my buddy's car would run really hot. I told him to turn the heat on. He wouldn't. I had to convince him it was true by saying I would pay for resulting damage if the temp didn't go down. It was the winter time, and that heat was so dang hot we had to roll the windows down. But we watched his engine temp drop. I don't believe it's especially uncommon, but if no one ever told you, it would seem counterintuitive. Edit, you go to sleep and tell your wife, hey, I made a comment, and it has like 400 likes. Then you wake up, and your 6 while lifetime karma has doubled. I do hope it helps someone. Somewhere. Sometime that didn't already know about it. A few things as a response to some common comments. This doesn't work on electric cars. Depending on your mechanical issue, it may not work at all. It has worked for a lot of people with evidence in this chain. Those junior to me learned this from Terry of a Wimpy Kid. Those around my generation learned this from Hank Hill. If I can have a millionth of the influence of Hank Hill, I'll take it. Also, King of the Hill reboot news link. If you want to know how it works better than me saying it pulls heat off the engine, ask your mechanic, or look for those that explained it better in this thread. This is not a permanent fix. This is to get you somewhere to safely address this issue. If you can't afford repairs and do this long term, you are gambling. Know when to hold M. Know when to fold M. You read all these comments. I hope you have a great day.